They say the first step is always the hardest, something I wholeheartedly believe in, but to never put oneself out there is a lonely existence. So this is me putting my art and in extension myself out there. I thought we'd just have a chill video while I worked on this sketchbook spread of Sabrina Carpenter and just chat. Chat about my plans for this channel and my art in the new year to come. If you're new here, which you probably are, I'm Anissa of NissaIllustrations. Next week on Christmas, I'm turning 30, which is crazy because that's 30 trips around the sun and back. It dawned on me recently that I've actually been drawing now for over half my life. Even though there are parts of my art I may not care for and want to improve to this day, I can recognize that I'm not half bad at drawing. I actually think I'm pretty good at it. Not great, but definitely good. Despite that and saying I've wanted to post my art on YouTube, I just haven't. Whether or not it was because in the past I thought my art wasn't good enough or I could just never put myself out there, even reasonable excuses like not having the proper equipment or us having slow internet at home. The internet point is still valid. We're trying to find a workaround around it, but in the meantime, you're just gonna have to bear with me. The others, though, all are just excuses really that are just holding me back. So at the beginning of this year, I decided to do something about it. Thanks to a very, very good friend of mine, I started posting my art on TikTok. And slowly over time, I got better equipment and I actually started to really enjoy filming. I honestly loved it. I feel like throughout the year, I've definitely gotten better at filming videos. I won't lie, I'm still been kind of scared to start making longer ones and posting them on YouTube. That's been like the biggest delay. But with TikTok possibly getting banned, I really, really, really wanted to make the move over here sooner rather than later. So this is me trying to make YouTube videos again. Like I said, with our internet situation, also trying to figure out a solution to lack of phone storage. I don't really know how many of these videos I'm going to be able to make. Like maybe one or two a month. That'd probably be like most at max. But I do really actually have a very good feeling about this time compared to the other times in the past. I'm sure there will be a learning curve between short and longer form videos. I'm expecting it even. Trying to talk for 10 minutes, for example, that's going to be a bit of an adjustment. One of the biggest hurdles I actually faced while filming this is my phone kept running out of space. And since I have an iPhone, there wasn't an easy way to get them to my computer, which is one of the reasons there are some parts of the video just missing. Like at the end, you'll notice a good chunk of the line art I didn't film or me adding the highlights, and that's why. I think for now the issue is fixed because I ended up just biting the bullet and buying more cloud space, which I really wish I would have just done sooner. I'm honestly just proud of myself for filming a good 90% of the video though. Like it's not perfect and there are a few kinks to iron out. For now, my only goal is to do my best and get this video out there even though it's not perfect. I'll just set the goal to make the next video a little bit better than the previous and so on and so forth, and eventually I do believe that I'll get there. So the question now is, what kind of channel do I want to be? I know I don't want to be an art drama channel. I'd rather get no views than put down another artist or creative. That just feels wrong on so many levels and goes against all of my morals and the way I was raised. And I could try to emulate other artists I've looked up to over the years, but that's not really me either. I truthfully just want to make art videos and talk about Dungeons and Dragons. Those are the two things I'm the most passionate about. I think by focusing on making videos on what I love, I'll develop my own voice as I go along. If you follow me on my other socials, you probably already know I love Dungeons and Dragons. My absolute favorite thing is designing a character and then coming up with their backstory and then getting to watch that unfold throughout a long form campaign. There's just, to me, there's not a better feeling in the world. My main D&D character, Osha, is actually due for a redesign, so I'm thinking I'll probably make a video about that, and I can kind of introduce you guys to my D&D characters that way. Plus, I think at some point I'd like to do a video on how D&D has affected my art throughout the years because more than anything, it has been one of the biggest and best influences that could have ever happened to me art-wise. But I'm still going to be doing other art projects like this, for example, which I'm doing because I really enjoyed Sabrina Carpenter's Christmas special that they put on Netflix, and the outfits she had on were to die for. So I really wanted to sketch them in this sketchbook. Plus, I probably would have to say a Nonsense Christmas version that is probably one of my favorite songs by her, plus one of my favorite Christmas songs in general. Whenever I first heard it a few years ago, I'd kind of known who Sabrina was, but this was the song that really put her on my radar for me. Her newest album that came out this year is probably my favorite album of the year, even beating Tortured Poets Department, which, if you know me, that's really saying something because I'm a really, really big Swiftie. And one thing I really wanted to do but wasn't able to is I would just absolutely love to go to a Sabrina Carpenter concert. It just looks like it would be an absolute blast and just like so much fun. Maybe at some point I'll sketch out some of her different concert outfits. For now, though, I think I'm just going to leave this at this. My main goal was to just kind of like do something in this sketchbook because normally I get so freaked out of touching this sketchbook. I just will not do anything in it. And I've had it for like a year and a half, and I'm really pushing myself to get out of my comfort zone because I truthfully believe by not doing anything in it, it's very counterproductive to my growth as an artist, and that's something I really want to get better at in 2025. Saying that, I'm fine with this one being a little bit more polished because I do have a completely different sketchbook, one that I put my rough sketches and ideas in. That one is very much not refined, and I don't really record myself working out of it too often. It's one of those unfinished sketchbooks I've had since I was a teenager, and I actually found it again fairly recently, which I find funny because one of the videos, the one of Harley Quinn, which you can actually still find on here, was drawn in the sketchbook that I'm using right now. Now, if you do go search for that video, be warned, it is very old. I do not know how good the quality is. I would definitely say watch anything before this video at your own risk. Honestly, with the sketchbook being so old, I don't even know what prompted me to start doodling it in again, but I kind of just did, and I fell in love with the paper, which is kind of ironic because I think I stopped using it because of the paper. It was really bad for my Copics in my defense, which I primarily used at the time. Though I find that it's actually fairly decent for watercolors, and since it's so old, I don't mind putting all my rough sketches in it and not caring what they look like. With me having the sketchbook for so many years and it stretching out over a good chunk of my art career, I think it will make for a good comparison of how much I've improved in the 12 years since I started it, which I think could be a really good idea, at least to show people how far I've come as an artist and that a sketchbook doesn't always have to be perfect and an artist's journey isn't always linear. I do think I'll be wrapping this up soon, but one thing I wanted to say before finishing up is if you're someone like me and you're thinking of starting, whether that be videos or just posting artwork online in general, but you aren't quite sure, I'd say just go for it. We only get one life, and life's too short for what ifs. Like I said at the beginning of the video, the first step is always the hardest, and I promise you guys, the more and more you do it and the more you stick with it, the easier it'll get. And eventually you'll realize that it's not as daunting as it once was. At least that's what I'm telling myself. If I'm being honest, this whole entire thing is entirely daunting, along with being exciting. And as they say, fake it till you make it. And that's probably what I plan on doing at first in 2025. And I'm hoping that eventually it'll start to feel a little bit more natural as I go along. Well, thank you if you made it this far into the video. If you did, why not leave a like and subscribe? I plan on making more videos in the future. But until then, I want to thank you guys so much and tell you to be safe and have a Merry Christmas. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.